I got words too. None of them.
All right, let me see. Oh man, what's up, everybody? This is Blerdlines, and we are back. We are going to react to the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that just dropped. Yeah, let's watch.
Impressive.
Good shot, baby.
I do like the little mini aliens. No, baby, don't stop, baby.
It looks like a made-for-TV movie.
It does look like a made-for-TV movie.
Yo.
And I like the doctor mentioned about the why. I don't know why they felt the need to ratchet up Goranson's amazing score, like his theme for. It's cool. I love it, but I don't like the way it's used here to try to make it more epic. But yeah, I don't see a lot going. And then you wonder, like, so where does that leave everything else that's lingering in this Filoni? Favreau universe.
Listen,
where does it leave everything else? Where's Thrawn? What's happening?
It's too big. It's too much. Like the thing that made it work initially, I said this to D'Angelo the day that the trailer dropped. It was fine the way that it was. It's a small story in a small corner. As much as we want Star Wars to expand into other storytelling about other things and other parts of that universe and that world, they succeeded in not annoying everyone with yet another story in a small pocket of the universe. It actually worked in the small pocket of the universe. Even when they added Luke, and the four of us, have all ad nauseum said enough with the Skywalker thing already. But when they added Luke, it worked. But now they're making it a movie, and there's all this orchestral, like Dee mentioned, when the trailer dropped, the very first thing I said was, A, it's too big, and B, I'm really, 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 really annoyed that everything is this big orchestra now, instead of the really small, like 3-instrument thing that Goranson did. Like Ludwig crafted the perfect sounding theme and the perfect sounding, he used the perfect instruments. Everything about it was fine the way that it was. You could have just done the 4th season and be done with it. Instead, now they're like, oh, it works. Let's make it a movie because we haven't had any other movies work lately. I don't, I'll go see it, but like grudgingly. Like, I don't care now.
The moment I saw Baby Yoda go like this in the beginning, I was like,
yeah, like, oh, so now he's got a periscope and like a telescope rather, and why? Yeah, he's still the little sidekick who the sidekick foundling sort of kind of pseudo Jedi. Like,
just give him his own movie for the kids. They could have just split this up.
Give him a cartoon or something.
Yo, y'all got way more words about this than I do. So look, it's trash. Second of all, once he didn't go with Luke, I was done with this character. I was like, all right, you ain't gonna really be badass. I don't need to see you anymore. I'm good. No, to be honest, look, the title, it's not made for me. It sounds like it's made for kids. It's too Disney, where
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, so like I get it. I get what Disney's doing. I see your vision. I see your game. I'm not going to go see this in the theaters. I have Disney Plus. I will wait.
I'll probably wait for this too. I mean, it is what it is. I think as a Star Wars fan, it doesn't do much for me in terms of wanting to see this or caring that it exists. But I said that from the way back when they announced it. I said, this doesn't sound like something that I would particularly be interested in. And here we are. We've arrived at the moment. And once again, I'm right. I wasn't interested in it then. And even seeing that trailer, I'm less interested in it now. Because it really just looks like an extended 2-hour episode of The Mandalorian. And as I mentioned before we came on for it, I don't particularly care for Grogu. So now that he's even more being put in the forefront, early on, I was really hoping that when we got to the Ahsoka moment, and I think Cam mentioned this as well, and she hands him off to Luke, or Luke arrives and takes him. I was hoping that was going to be the end of Grogu, like in terms of being a part of this story. Like I really wanted that to be it.
And it would have been a clean ending. Yep, it would have been a clean ending. 1 and 2, yeah, there's room for growth with 100 years from now, because very clearly Yoda's race that we still don't know the name of for reasons is long lived. So, okay, cool. We could go 100 years into the future. Luke's gone. Ahsoka's gone. Everybody's gone. And Grogu's the one who's carrying the torch of, the hybrid torch of being a Jedi Knight or sort of kind of almost like a Force sensitive at the minimum, who's also
the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Bringing back
which would be a cool circle to his story, because it's bridging those two ancient enemies and bringing those two cultures who were once enemies together, and who time and time again showed when they joined forces that most couldn't contend with them. So there's potential there, not through that character, but through a character for that to happen. I mean, he's a vehicle because he's long lived. So yes, by the time we get there, he'll be speaking and they'll CGI him up like Yoda and all that stuff. But just in the here and now and how he is used in The Mandalorian, I could see it in the animation. I could see if he was a part of the skeleton crew. I could see it in other places, but pairing him with the gunslinger, it only worked to a certain degree, and then now they're just taking it to.
You know what that was?
It was
a poor attempt at lone wolf and cub. Hey, is this my camera? Let me say something.
Yeah, talk to him. Talk to him. That's a good point.
Hey, Star Wars. You're not Demon Slayer. You don't have that type of cachet to make a series and
tell
take
us
it to the
what
movie.
Demon Slayer is for those of us who might not know.
I'm going to say that for another pod, but because I go along with. Okay. You're not Demon Slayer. You have not earned that cachet with the fans to just jump from a show to make this a movie and expect folks to eat it up. I've been waiting for years to watch Demon Slayer. I've read the manga. That's how good it was. This is not it. Take notes from the Japanese animation over there, what they're doing. If you want to do this and take your TV show, which has some popularity, and make it into an extended movie in the theaters and get people to pay big bucks to go see it, follow that map. But you guys are not that.
Talk to him. What give the short version. What do you think the map is? Nah. He's got a point, but I want him to say it.
Well, first of all, it's just good writing, engaging characters, build a good world, like make me want to care about every character, wanting to level up the hero's journey in Demon Slayer. And it's animation started from a manga. We'll have another pod for that. But like what they're trying to do, they can't do with Demon Slayer. We just saw the numbers. It's doing crazy numbers. But again, they have not earned the cachet for me to go pay my money to go see this. You should have just kept this in a TV show. I'd have been cool with that. Like, what made this
a TV movie? If you wanted to do a longer thing, you could do a hour and 45 minutes of TV that make it a Disney Plus event. Because this is a gambit. This is a gambit because The Mandalorian is popular, but I don't know if it's popular enough to turn out box office the way they might be hoping. Now, it is Star Wars, and people do come out for Star Wars, but the general audience is used to laser swords when it comes to Star Wars. And we saw when those are not present or at the forefront, the box office has trouble. People, I think in retrospect, the word of mouth got out that Vader was in Rogue One. And so those numbers started to grow a little bit. And then also Rogue One was just a good movie. And so, and similar to, and I said this to Josh, Star Wars is finding itself constantly in this seesaw of being something you take serious to something that is absolutely for children. And so in terms of how it executes its stories. And so The Mandalorian played around with that a little bit at the beginning. And you saw this seesawing of, at first, Moff Gideon seemed like a threatening character. Then by the time he's dispatched, he's a goofy stash villain.
He's cartoonish.
Right. So, and so they have this. And I was saying that, at first I didn't quite understand the whole thing with Dan Gilroy and Andor and why it was being praised the way it was. But then it hit me in that it's much like with Rogue One, we're talking about removing that prism of good and evil from Star Wars and going to something a little bit more complex in making it about characters who find themselves in situations, bad or good, and having to make complex choices. You saw that with Dedra Meero, and you saw that with I forget his name, Cyril, and you saw it with Andor himself. Andor has never been posited as a good or bad person. He's a person in really ideal circumstances who has to make choices to try to better the world or try to at least make it not the way it was, which is the goal of any superhero.
And I think that's what and I think that's the thing where like what we've been finding over these last 10 to 15 years is, Star Wars is good when they focus on the rogues, right? Not good, not bad, kind of in the middle, and they kind of do that and they start to get good stories out of it. Or when they completely separate, here, this stuff is for kids, this stuff is for everyone else. And like I watched Skeleton Crew wasn't bad at all. It's a good kid show. It fit nicely in the pocket. Do we need it? No, but was it enjoyable? If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan and you have children, it would be a perfect thing to watch for them. But
if it's back to the basics, which is this is an epic story about good versus evil.
The key component here is there's no one that they've tapped that's able to strike that balance the way that Lucas did and the way that Filoni can in animation. That's the asterisk in animation.
He's getting there.
He's getting there. He's getting there with the live action, but he doesn't have the same aplomb that he has with the animated stuff. The animated stuff, he owns it. Yeah, he owns the animation space.
It's a lot tighter, but he's a kid in the candy store with this live action with some of this stuff. Because like with Ahsoka and with now, I'm sure with Mandalorian Grogu, he creates these sort of chasms of widening certain areas of the world. But then that creates another problem of continuity, right? So, but that's not his fault. That was their built-in from those horrible sequels, right? So now he's working to try to clean that up, similar to the connective tissue he provided for the prequels. They're made better by his shows, by Clone Wars and Bad Batch. Yeah. So
and Rebels, 100%. Right?
And Rebels
is more the original. Yeah.
But so before we turn this into a straight Star Wars talk, this looks like ass, and yeah, that's all I can say. I don't even know what to.
We've aged out of this type of Star Wars. From the trailer.
We've aged out of it. We've not aged out of Star Wars. Star Wars is written badly.
Look,
it's not well produced.
I've never been.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree. But I will say it like this: I have zero tolerance for inconsequential storytelling and just overall bad approach to storytelling. And so that it doesn't matter if it's Skeleton Crew, all kitty, or if it's more serious like Andor or Rogue One, because the most serious we're ever going to get in terms of storytelling that is actual elevated in the sense is Andor and Rogue One. I think that's the best that Star Wars will get in terms of being able to tell a complex human narrative that takes in more than just, oh, this person is good because because it echoes that idea that no one sees themselves as a villain. Partagaz, Miro, even Krennic, these people who are a part of this machine who enjoy the proximity, they have no idea the real power that the Emperor possesses. They have no idea, but the proximity to that power is totally on display. And and we see that echoed in real life right now, is that people who are in proximity to that power, whether they know the truth or the full scope of it at all, it gives them something, and they're willing to fight for the Matrix, all of that stuff. That's what made Andor and Rogue One stick out. But that's the best Star Wars has to offer when it comes to that.
Yep, and we'll end it right there.
I'm done. I'll go see it. I'll go see it because it'll be there, but I'm not excited about it at all.
Hey man, holla at me. I got Disney Plus. I got you.
And as always, thanks for watching. Blerdlines, be out. Peace.